And here it is, another edition of Semi-Pro Gridiron Rants. Of course, to my, am I above you or below you? Oh,
You're below me right now, buddy.
am I below you? All right. So I guess above the one single, single fox-haired guy over here, and then joining us today, our guest, one Doby Howard. What's up, dog?
How we doing,
In the
Jay?
drive-through. In the drive-through, no less.
And the car wash, yes,
Gosh.
getting it clean.
Gotta keep that car clean, no doubt. Welcome, Doby. Appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
No, the honor's all ours. Listen, Doby is a beast. We'll get into this, but he's won. He forgot how many. That's how bad it is. 4 or 5 national titles.
I mean, half of me cheats. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
They're cheaters, right? Right. I've heard that rumor. Now, listen. The good thing about Doby, though, for real though, a lot of good games between. I never played against Doby, but I coached against him, and that's where him and I kind of developed a friendship and much respect for him. And I know Hantke's played against. Dude, listen, Syracuse, Rochester, multiple years of headbanging.
Oh,
The
man.
stories are, before our time, and there'll be stories after our time. So that's just one of those things. But all right, Doby, let's dive into it, my man. Let's tell us where it all began. Tell us a little bit about your football career, where it started, and we'll go from there.
Man. Well, high school, of course, here in Rochester, East High. Did a spell at Saginaw Valley State College-wise for 2 years. Got homesick, came home. So that college career was short-lived.
Now, where is Saginaw Valley?
Michigan.
Okay, I was going to say there's
Saginaw,
one in Detroit,
Michigan.
and I actually live in an area that's Saginaw. There's a Saginaw just south of me, so I didn't know. Okay,
Yep, that's Saginaw.
Valley.
Yep. Then came home. Just started playing semi-pro. The first team I played for was the Wildcats. They were called, was it called Monroe County Wildcats? Or something Wildcats. Andy Masters was the owner and head coach. And that's where I started the semi-pro career.
Okay.
And that had to be what, 2000? Are we talking like 99, 2000 though?
Yeah, that was about 99, 2000. And actually, I didn't play a game with them. I just started out like training with them, and they had me at wide receiver. And I kept telling him, I said I could play a little quarterback, and he was like, "No, we have to."
Yeah, Doby plays a little quarterback, guys, just a little bit.
Well, at that time, I really didn't know. I mean, I knew I was good, but I didn't know my potential then.
Right.
So I couldn't say anything. But yeah, I played wide receiver for him. Then my actually cousin Jesse came to me. He started a football team in Batavia because they couldn't. Something happened with their owners, and their owner reached out to my cousin Jesse, who had a team here, and he just took it out to Batavia, and he just basically gave me the invitation and to go to, like, okay, well, you can play quarterback.
Nice.
So of course I took that, and we were called Batavia Bandits.
Hey, folks, thanks for watching. Please do us a favor. Tackle that subscription bar, stiff arm the bell. That way you'll get notifications when our new episodes come out. Thanks again for watching.
Oh, that was a different team. So, Kenny, remember the fight story I told you about? That was actually, I want to say Batavia Titans. That was my first year in 1998.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
remember the
them.
Bandits. I remember the Bandits by name, yeah.
I want to say that I played my first official game in semi-pro was against the Wildcats at Griffin Field. And that was like coming out of college, though. You know how it is when you come out of college and then you walk into semi-pro in your first game, and a lot of times, listen, it's kind of ghetto ball. Like it's just you don't even know what to expect, right? Like, okay, all right, it is ghetto ball, right?
He's being polite, folks.
So you don't
he's
even
being very
know what to
polite
expect,
right
so
now.
I am trying to be polite, but I'll never forget. I'm like, you come out of college and 2 days and you one position and you walk in, you're like, what the fuck is going on in here right now, right? And that was, and then
Exactly.
it was playing against Rochester, so that was like my first invitation. That was my first invitation to Rochester.
Oh, the Semi-Pro.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So from Batavia, they put you at the QB, QB1, and then do you remember what your record was that first year?
The first year we were 8-2.
Okay.
We lost twice to the Buffalo Gladiators.
Yeah, who didn't? That
Oh,
was
right.
For those of you who don't know,
Right.
they were one of the original beasts, especially in that late 80s, early 90s. They were beasts. They were
a powerhouse. Actually, they were on a 2-year winning streak, and we beat them at home. Their first loss was to us, and we only had 23 people.
Damn.
Actually, we played a lot better when we was like low numbers.
Always, right? Yeah, nobody crying about playing time. You ain't got nobody, nothing. You just go out, shut up, and go play football.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
So season 1, 8-2. Did Batavia have a second season? Did you play with them again?
We played with them again, but actually we started out there, but then our home field, I think probably the 5th game, we came back to Rochester because we practiced in Rochester. It was just our games were at the Batavia field, Batavia High School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of us was from Rochester.
Right. How many?
Not one person was from Batavia.
Oh, the whole team was because you practiced in Rochester, so nobody was. Okay. Well, I kind of did that to my guys one year too. We played in Fulton, even though we all practiced in Syracuse. So.
But that's not the same kind of. That's not the same kind of trip though. Like Rochester, that's like an hour and a half, 2-hour trip, right?
Yes, hour and a half.
Batavia?
Yes.
Yeah. So
about 45
minutes outside of Syracuse ain't that bad.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That may be the same thing.
So what? So you Batavia, did they fold, or did you guys just decide? Did the Sting pop up out of nowhere?
Yes, we transitioned to Monroe County.
Okay.
So we call ourselves Monroe County Sting. So that's how the Sting came about. We just evolved from Batavia.
Okay, and who started that team?
It was what was their name? It was 2 owners, a husband and wife, and then also Wayne Brockman.
And Wayne.
Dennis. Oh goodness, what was the owner's name? I totally forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, they had ownership, but then Wayne took over about a year or 2 after that.
Okay. And Wayne, by the way, was a local businessman. He's a real good dude.
Yes.
I always enjoyed in the meetings with him. He's another one of those guys, a straight shooter, man. He don't bullshit you.
He definitely don't bullshit. No, there's no doubt about that.
So
he doesn't. He doesn't.
I respect that out of people. So I'd rather have that than some of the other shit that went in the boardroom. So I definitely respect him for that. Him and I, we talked a lot. I'd reach out to him, ask questions and stuff like that. So he's a good dude. So the Sting first year, how successful were you guys?
The first year, I believe we won a championship. The first year we won. I believe we beat Buffalo.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was Buffalo.
We had to be talking about 01 maybe, right? Was that about 2001?
Yeah, about 2001. We went with Buffalo. We went back and forth. One year they beat us. The next year we beat them in the championship. It was just weird,
Yeah, those were the days that the Express sucked. We weren't very good. Like we were like middle of the road type teams, and then
because you guys had 2 teams there.
That was the 2-team era, right?
Yeah, you guys had 2 teams.
Yeah.
So the talent was spread out everywhere.
Yeah, it was tough when. Yeah.
I mean, the cities are.
I think 03 is when finally things started coming together
for you guys.
Because you guys got a quarterback. Who was because when Express, I remember you guys had good running back.
Frankie was the quarterback in Oath. Yep. Yeah, we had Frankie was our quarterback, Desiderio. So we had Frankie as a quarterback. And then you had Steve Scott and Chris Beebe as running backs. So I mean, it was tough to stop those guys, man. You know what I mean? Like they balled out. So it was a different. They were just explosive. I mean, we were explosive, but if we gave up some shit, we couldn't. The problem with us in like 02, 01, 02 is we couldn't come from behind if you started getting lead on us. We had nothing at that point.
Exactly. You couldn't pass. You guys could not pass.
Nope.
So I mean, that was a game plan to get up on you guys quick.
Yeah.
And then we can cruise from there. But you guys had them 2 running backs that were, phenomenal.
Yeah, we could pound the ball with anybody, but
anybody.
And then we had 10 yards in and out, man. That was all we had. That was our. We had a 2-yard slant and a 10-yard out, and if we hit one of those, we might break something. But outside of that, there was no balls going over the top, none.
Exactly.
Funny. That's
funny. Right.
So that first year with the Sting, did you go to nationals that year?
No, our first couple of years, we weren't introduced to nationals until probably the 4th or 5th year.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, there really wasn't too much nationals out there then either.
Right.
It was like the Vegas game, right? Wasn't there a game in Vegas or something that was popular?
Yes.
About it?
Yep.
It was all Midwest and West Coast. They were doing the nationals.
Right.
We had Harvest Bowl. Harvest Bowl started, to pop up.
There you go.
Yep.
And then right after the Harvest Bowl, and then the nationals followed.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, for those first couple of years, it was just win your championship, and then Harvest Bowl came about the 3rd or 4th year.
So you played in a few of those, the Harvest Bowl?
Yeah, we played in a few. We won once or twice. The Harvest Bowl is really hard to win because you have teams stacking their teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you was playing against. I mean, it was battles. Loved it. But it was just teams that had no weakness, and we were just like, wow.
Yeah. Well, you were taking guys. I mean, I know we had took with the year we won the national. Like we took some guys from Buffalo. You know what I mean? We had
we took the limit. Guys. You took 4. It was 4 or 5 guys.
Yep. And you went and all those positions that sucked all year long. You went and found guys to fill those positions, and then you would piss off the guys that were playing all year because you bring guys in to replace them. Oh, that was
yes, yeah. You know how that goes.
I've been here all year. How can you do that to me?
Yeah.
Well, look at him. He's 6'3", 400. You're 5'3", 180, and you're playing guard. Why do you think I brought him in?
Right. Just compare your stats for the year against his.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. No brainers. No
exactly
brainers.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so let's fast forward a couple seasons. So you were in the Empire League. You were in the NFA. You were in the NFL with us too, right?
Yes.
When that split off, and that was the bigger league, the NAFL.
NYAFL, NYAFL.
Yes, yep.
NYAFL. Thank you.
Yep.
I get them all confused now.
Well, those were the years that's when the Syracuse Rochester rivalry, like those are the years that it got nasty. Like it got
real. It was real. Boy. I'm still hurting from some of them games.
Yeah. Listen, I'll never forget. Like, I mean, and we can go back and forth with war stories all day long. I mean, you know that.
Of course.
I mean, the first time I want to say we played, I forget the school, but I think we showed up and there was like a 20-yard line, a 50-yard line, a 20-yard line, and goal lines.
It was probably East High, right?
No, it wasn't East. It was.
It wasn't East. They played at our practice field, Douglas.
Yes. Yeah, at Douglas. Right, at Douglas.
It was
had dress outside.
Yes, terrible.
Yeah. We had tents outside, and we had tarped off tents outside. We're getting dressed in. Oh,
Hantke, share that story you shared with us last week about Stevie Scott running Doby down and then fumbling out of bounds and taking.
Oh my goodness!
That was at East.
Yes, that is still my nightmare. I remember that like it was yesterday.
I tell that story about 100 times already. But no, we were playing under the highway lights. Everybody's like, "Yo, what fucking highway light?" But the field was nice. I mean, East High was like going through this huge reconstruction back then, right?
Right.
And I want to say you guys were up on us. Doby hits the sideline. If you know anything, once Doby breaks your linebackers, it's a nightmare. So Doby's going down the sideline, and Steve hawked him down. And
listen, let me tell you the story better than that.
All right.
Because I broke from the 12-yard line. I'm going all the way down the field.
Yep.
I see Chuck hit Scott. He's on the ground. Chuck on the ground. I cut. I'm gone. In my head, I am gone.
Yeah.
I look back and I still got 2 blockers with me. I got 2 people running with me. I see Steve Scott out the corner of my eye, and I'm thinking these guys are going to block. He runs around them so fast, catch me at the 20.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right.
And I hear somebody, as he tackles me, somebody says, "Pitch the ball." I pitch the ball. There's nobody around. The ball falls, and I'm near out of bounds. it didn't even roll out of bounds. It just stopped.
Yeah.
You guys picked it up.
Yep.
But I'm like, there's no way Steve Scott ran me down like that. And he was so fast they couldn't even block him.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, folks, those of you who's never played against Doby or never seen, he is the semi-pro, and this is not hype. He was the semi-pro Mike Vick. This dude can throw. He can throw effortlessly, and he can run like the wind. So Steve Scott, now he was a D1 athlete and spent some time in Kansas City, I think it was, right, for the Chiefs.
Yep.
That dude is the fastest human I've ever seen in person.
Ever. He had to run like a 4.19, easy.
Yeah. Stevie Scott Jr. is playing for Indiana right now, and he is every bit. Yeah, he's a big time in Indiana. Yeah, and he is every bit of his dad. Like you look, he looks. I mean, you're just like, okay. And if for guys that played with him, you watch and you're like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, so that was it. But that year though, Kenny, that was 2003. That was the year we had Frankie as a quarterback. So, it was pounded out and figured out. And we had pitch left, pitch right with Steve, and then run BB up the gut. I mean, and that's how we, and then I think we scored a touchdown after that recovery, and that put the game away.
No, you guys were up. You guys were up at that time. Yes.
Where were we at?
We were, y'all were up. I mean, y'all just ran the clock out after that. That was 4 quarters.
That's right. Yes, that's right. You're right. But yeah, that was like the real start of that rivalry though, right? I mean, where it was big time games, you know what I mean? And it was just fun,
Well, it's ironic you say that you played teams in the Nationals that didn't have a hole. Well, I'll tell you something. Coaching against you, bro, your team didn't have a hole either.
I give it.
Brent McGill, your middle backer, right? Brent?
Oh man, yes.
That kid's a beast.
I call him franchise. Yes.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I hate Brent.
I thought I'm like, oh, we can win this. I'm going to put my fullback on him. We got this dude. No, he's unblockable. Yeah. He's unblockable.
Brent is not only athletic, but his football IQ. I mean, even coming out of high school and straight to semi-pro, I was impressed. I was just impressed by him, how he was reading the offense and how he can adjust to everything. Not just from an athletic standpoint, but a mental standpoint as well. I say he's going to be special. He's a special kind of guy.
I tried misdirecting him. No. I tried running at him. No. I tried going behind him. No. I tried going in front of him. No. Just like, this dude's going to get through. We got to find a way to whatever. And he single-handedly, that playoff game that we played in Fulton, he single-handedly destroyed us. We couldn't stop him.
Oh, yes. When the game is on the line, if it's a true game, that's when Brent comes out. I mean, he laughs and jokes a lot, but when it comes down to the important games,
well, and then he starts chirping, and you're like, I'm going to punch this dude right in the grill, man. I swear to God.
Yeah.
He's going to start chirping. He's like,
well, when you can't be stopped, you may as well chirp. I mean, that dude, I'm sitting on the sideline going, listen, and that year we had a great offensive line, and we couldn't block this dude. I'm like, this cat is incredible. And then throwing Doby, I'm like, really? They got one on each side of the ball? What the hell am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Was that the year they had
I had weapons, too.
And you had that was like really tall receiver that caught everything.
Cedric Odita.
That dude caught everything.
He did. And I had Bernard on the opposite side. I had Kobe in the middle.
Running back too. You had a runner.
Jamel.
There you go. And then you had a power back too.
Like, yes, I had weapons. I was just blessed with weapons that year.
Yeah, because you really never had weapons like that, like them earlier, like 03, 04. I mean, you had guys, but you didn't have like loaded weapons like that.
No, nowhere near that. I had more smart players in the years before, but then we was just blessed with athletes just coming out, and even the coaches, we'd sit there and just talk about them and just be like, wow, what have we just been blessed with? Yeah. These young kids came out of nowhere.
I was just going to say, win a few national titles, and all of a sudden you'll be surprised who starts walking through your doors. That definitely helped. So, so those were some – listen, dude, we knew straight up. We had like 2 games to worry about that year, every year, and it was Albany and you.
Yes,
and
Albany.
It was like, so it's like we got to go to the east. We got to go to the west. Yep. Good luck. And
you were never really into that Buffalo rivalry, though. I mean, you didn't.
I played against them early when I was with the Express, and I played a couple times when I was with.
They had that 15-yard out. They would hit that goddamn 15-yard out.
Dude, Yeah,
yes, O'Malley, and
yeah.
Augie.
And their quarterback was
Augie and O'Malley.
Augie. There you go. That
Augie.
combo.
Augie.
Dude, you couldn't stop them. They were like NFL timeout every time.
Yep.
O'Malley had that 15-yard out. He knew how to route run that 15-yard out 3 different ways.
Yes.
You know, and you could never figure it out. You know it's coming, but you couldn't stop it because the way he disguised it.
We tried to high-low him for a while. No. It didn't matter.
Yes.
Nope. I'm like, all right, we're going to sit our corner short so he can't get. He's got to go behind him. We're going to bring our safety over. No, didn't matter.
Nope.
He's making these shoestring catches on the sideline. I'm like, who is this cat? This is just crazy. Yeah. And Augie's putting it right there on the dime. He don't miss
every time. Every time you could blitz everything. He's still putting it out there.
Augie had probably the biggest and probably best offensive line for a good 5-6 years.
He was bringing them from Canada.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because you knew if he got hit, it was lights out. I mean, he would take some shots, but after a while,
he would take some shots. But you could never get no clean one on him. You know,
he was like 104 when we played against him, and he was still slinging it.
Still slinging it. Still throwing over 300 yards passing. We know he's passing.
Yep. Yeah.
He became a mentor to me. And actually, he the one. It was after one game, and we lost to them. And I'm frustrated. I'm like, why am I always losing to these guys? He came to me and he was like, Doby, you are a good player, but you can be great if you depend on your team. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, you scramble so much. All we do is wait for you. He said, if you learn how to pass, he said, you'll be double threat. There's no way we'll stop you. And after that year off, all I did was pass through the offseason. Came through that season and my mindset was I'm gonna throw the ball, and the rest was history.
So you were actually the LeVar of a semi-pro, not even Mike Vick, because Mike Vick could just LeVar's the one that could run like crazy and had to learn to pass. So you're I just
learned to depend on my guys. I learned to depend on them and not try to do everything myself. Me, because I'm trying to run 60, 80 yarders. From the quarterback position. Everything is spread out. So okay, I'll wait for him to come up. I'll run behind him. Things like that. But when they started waiting on me, giving me time.
By the time I got to you, oh, Jesus. I got to you. You had already perfected it. There's certain games, like you go into it and you're like, okay, for your game, it was, how do I stop you? And how do I stop Brent? And then for Albany, it's how do you stop Tarver? Right? Those were the game. And then Woody, they're Mike. So Woody, that was another dude.
Yeah. Woody.
Two guys. God rest his soul. He was a nut job. That dude could play too.
He was crazy.
Yeah, and it was like not similar because your skill set and Tarver's are completely different. Tarver's he's a crazy scrambler, man. He's like Barry Sanders with an arm. I mean, this guy does.
He's an athlete first. CJ is an athlete first. He's not a quarterback. He could throw the ball.
He's definitely a receiver. He's a receiver. He's definitely an athlete.
And they put him all over. He was played national against his kick returner. First time I saw him, he was
athlete.
He was at Glove Cities, and we were playing in a national game, and they came up. And first punt we have, he lets it one hop, two hop, boom, he picks it up down the sideline. He goes. I'm like, oh my god! First punt of the game. We're already down 7-0. I'm like,
wow,
this guy's
wow.
So we ended up winning that game. I don't know how, but somehow he didn't hurt us more than that game. But that dude,
he didn't come. His first couple of years, they said I really didn't know him at first because he was behind. I forgot that.
They brought
Albany receivers. Yeah,
Gabe
they had
Young.
Albany.
Gabe Young.
They had Scott Lawson, and they had the two other receivers. They only had him on punt return. He wasn't even a starter. CJ, and I'm like, really?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they were loaded. I mean, they loaded up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were taking those Glens Falls best players too and bringing them down. So that was Gabe Young came from.
Yes.
He was a Glens Falls guy, or the other way around. But that area, they definitely recruited. That team was. That's another team.
Yeah, they were stacked. Then CJ just turned into a monster.
Yeah. Well, you're a monster when they create rules so that you can't play. Listen, this is a true story. So we're in this league, and Tarver goes pro.
Amazing.
Tarver goes pro.
I remember that.
So we made a rule, and we say we because it was collective. I voted against it. They said, Anyone who's paid in that season can't play. And I said, and I raised my, I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I go, our goal is to get people to the next level, whether it's arena, whether it's Canadian, whether it's NFL. That's
right.
We should be proud that dude wants to play for us. Anyway, I lose. I'm the only one or two people voted no. So every game he went to, they protested. So when we played them, this was 2012. When we played them in Albany, great game, by the way, but we went into Albany. And I went up to him right before the game and I said, listen, buddy, I will not protest this game no matter what the hell happens. I said, so I like what you're doing. Keep doing you. Just don't kill us. So
don't score too many times.
That's right. He had a great game. That was a brawl, man. That game, we went up by 2 scores. They come back, they go up by a score, and then we're battling back and forth.
We were playing in a mud pit.
Yeah, we end up squeaking that out. Flash breaks one late. Puts his hand in the dirt, outruns everybody to the end zone. We played them like 6 times, and I lost to them once, and it was unfortunately in a championship.
Yeah. Oh man!
Every game was a brawl. One game we came from behind with a minute left. Said hits Ty in the end zone in the corner on a fade with like a minute left. We beat them 2019. I mean, those were just kind of games we played. It was never a blowout. It was always in brawls.
Right. Those are good games. Yes.
Those dudes were just banging on each other for 60 minutes. So
great games.
You always knew the games that you were walking into. Like, okay, we got to buckle up a little bit tighter for this one. This is going to hurt. And then the next day, it's going to hurt a lot too. So you just
true.
Get it in.
True.
All right, we got off topic there
Kenny,
a little bit. Let's get back to the Sting here.
Kenny, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you know that one loss that we had in the year we won the national title in 2004? Championship game against this asshole right here. It was, dude. Like it was the league championship. And it was the third time we played each other that year.
Yeah, y'all whooped our ass twice.
Yes. Yep. And then I don't know.
Y'all got too cocky. Y'all didn't even warm up. We were warming up. Y'all was running around us like, yeah, let's hurry up and get this over with. We about to party. I'm like, well,
that's right. I think you're probably right. Yeah.
You guys were stacked. And actually, tell you the truth, that game, I think I blacked out because the fourth quarter, they told me it was like 2 minutes left when we were up. I'm like, serious? What happened to the first 3? I swear to God, I don't know what happened. I was just in a zone, But you guys were stacked because you guys, beat us up in the Harvest Bowl because we had to go play. We played Watertown, and then we went to Massachusetts. We beat them and had to come back to you guys. And you guys, I forgot what platform. It wasn't Facebook. Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't have Facebook or something, but we had some kind of platform where Brad said, thank God that we get to play the Sting again. And when he said that, I'm like,
bulletin board. Put that on a bulletin board.
I said, we in for it. And man, I don't think that was a close game. I think that beat us by 2 or 3 times.
No, he was just, it was so cold. And he was just chucking the ball all over the damn place. And we're just like, all right, dude. Like, I'd argue with Brez because I'm like, yo, ground and pound, man, let's go. But, I'm like, you can't really argue when he's completing passes and scoring touchdowns. You know what I mean? You're like, all right. But that was the game. That game in the Harvest Bowl, I remember Doby running out of bounds. He hits the track, and the track was like an ice skating rink.
Oh, boom, man.
He falls like on that. He tripped on that edging. Right.
Both feet went up under me. Just went up.
Yes. Yep.
Fell on my back and everything. My legs started to tingle, and it scared me for a minute. So I laid there, like, oh my God.
And we were like, Doby, all right? Like we go over and pick him up because like we're not that much of a bunch of assholes. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see people hurt.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Right. That's the thing.
Game might have been over at that point.
That's the thing with those throughway games, right? Even with at least when we were in the middle of it, we talk about, we'll get into brawls with you at the end of the program here, Doby, but we talk about brawls, but it's never with those guys. We never, as hard as we played Albany, never fought. As hard as we played Rochester, never got in a fight. We just beat on each other, and then after the game, it's like, the other one.
Right, it was talk a lot of shit, because we have much respect for each other, because at the end of the day, we know it's just a game. We all got to go home to family.
Right. Well, you guys, it was hilarious when we were a little, back in the Shock days, 10 years from that national game you're talking about. because we had Facebook, we had the internet. You had the dudes talking back and forth, talking their shit back, and I just sit there laughing. Just like, these guys are nuts, man.
Yes, that platform
like Brent and Flash
hilarious.
would go back and forth, or Justin
back
would
and forth.
Like, oh, you guys are killing me. I just sit there like, I hope we show up, because those are the games. So you get through. So let's just talk real quick about the Nationals. Tell us like your first experience. I mean, and then
man,
the
first one we played Atlanta Prime. We were focused that game because our first Nationals. We're excited. We're going down to Florida, but we knew it was a business trip. It was more of a business trip. Like, listen, we're Nationals. We need to play, and we need to bring our A game. So we down there. We get to the field. We're getting our stuff off our little buses, our rent-a-cars. This big tour bus came, and it says Atlanta Prime on it. They get off the bus. There is nobody under 6 feet tall.
Wow.
And they getting off with their bags and looking like an NFL team. And I'm looking like,
oh
my God.
Were they sponsored by Dion?
Yeah.
They must have been, because they were.
Seminoles was the same thing. Detroit was the
Seminoles
same thing.
Was the
Getting
same
off the
thing.
bus, you're like, holy shit.
Yes. But the thing with them, I mean, when the game started, it was over. Because we knew what we were capable of. Even though they was bigger, that was us. We were never a big monster team. So if you saw us, you wouldn't be like, wow, But when we got in the field, you was like, wow, you guys are fast, tough, and you play together.
Play together. That's I was gonna say well coached, but play together.
That too.
Yeah,
I definitely have to commend Coach Harris at first, because he was one guy coaching 62 people and had us under tight ship. Then TC came, and he was a blessing too, because he changed he changed our old model from play action, I formation, pound, play action, to, okay, now we got these athletes, let's spread it out. And let's play this Oregon type offense. Let's speed this up. And that was perfect. He came at the perfect time.
Who was that freak you had in the slot? Real athletic kid.
Short?
Yeah, a little bit shorter.
You talking about Derek?
Last name.
Little J-Rock?
Yes, J-Rock.
Yes.
That
my
kid
guy.
Was a freak too. That kid was a freak too.
He was smart. His football IQ was amazing too. Yeah. And his route running. He knew how to sit through a defense. If you play zone, I always could depend on him. If it's third and 9, 3rd and 8, I could depend on him, because I know he's gonna sit in their zone. And he gonna be open.
And he could jump too, right? And he's the one that could leap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he could jump. And actually, he won the one of the national championships when we were down. We're down by a touchdown, and we had to start from our 2-yard line, and it was 1:20 left. And if it wasn't for him finding those holes, we would have lost.
You dissected him all the way down the field, didn't you?
Yeah, and he had like 4 or 5 catches, and 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
I told him he deserved MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
He deserved MVP, but they gave it to me only because I shot the 2 touchdowns and I rushed for 1. I said, but I told him, I said, Derek, you deserve this. You deserve it.
Did you get yours. The trophy, buddy?
No.
You can take a picture with it. You can have a picture. That's it. That's awesome. I love it. Perfect.
Oh, shit. He said, listen, I love you, brother, but listen, this is going home on my mantle, brother. I have to tell you.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
Nothing wrong with that. Awesome. Okay, so explain a little bit more. So you played in many of them. Did the national titles lose their shine, being that you played in so many?
No, because I really don't remember the winning ones like I remember the losses.
Okay.
The losses ones is the one I really hurt. There's one that we got blew out like 70-something to 6. I shot like three picks, and didn't even finish the game. And I'm just mad that we didn't give them a challenge. You know, we went up there with young guys. The huddle smelling like a brewery. Everybody went out. I mean, half the team, they went on vacation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they went down there for vacation, and I'm just mad that we let them get a ring, an easy ring. Because you know me, I'm competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
I hate that we lost that way. And then
Well, you
also
get to a point where you're going to a bunch of those games, you're just like, it's just another thing. We're gonna go down here and party it up. Don't worry, the field will take care of
yes,
itself. You know.
right, and that's how it happened when we were, you know, and we just wasn't prepared. We wasn't prepared for that, and they were a tough team. I mean, they had a front line that we could not block. I mean, I'm taking 7-step drops, and they're throwing my center at me every time. I said, it's gonna be a long day.
Yikes.
But I mean, fun times. It's also the losses are learning lessons.
Yep.
You know, you take it into the next season with you.
I used to enjoy, and sounds dumb from a coach, but I enjoyed the loss because the problem with winning
Mm-hmm.
is usually when you win, it means you're doing things right. So it's hard to coach, you know, especially if, hey, look at him drive block that guy 15 yards downfield. That's what you're supposed to do, right? I mean, or look at that route, precision, boom. You know, the good for me is coaching. I loved when we lost. Now, maybe not when you blew us out 72-0 that one time, but you know, but it gives you a lot to work with. You can break film down. You can say, look what you did wrong here. Cause a lot of the guys, especially the age group, when I started coaching, they know it all, right? So when they win and you say, hey, you're doing that wrong. That's not how I want you doing it. They're like, fuck you, coach. We won. I'm not listening to you.
Exactly.
And then when the next week someone washes you, you can say, see, that's why I told you last week to do it. Even though we won, you do it right this time. So
right. Film doesn't lie.
From a coaching standpoint, it was always easier to coach after a loss because you can, like you said, you can take it with you. You can dissect it. You can break it down. You can point out all the bads. And then obviously you still want to point out the goods even in a loss, but it's just a hell of a lot easier as a coach to coach losses. So, so I actually took that as a learning experience for me and the team on that. So, so how many years did you? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I must say it's funny that the 72-0 game. I remember that, and I remember me throwing a post like for 70-something yards to Said, our tall receiver, and I remember you saying, "Oh, really?" After I put my second string safety in, and I was like, I didn't know.
He did. So he was like, listen, Doby, at that point, Doby and I had developed a relationship and much respect. So I said it jokingly, not that I was mad. That was my first year with the Revolution, or maybe it was.
Okay. I was about to say I don't ever remember getting waxed by the Sting like that.
So here's
what. Hey,
wasn't any Jamie, team I was on.
No. Jamie, actually, we beat y'all first game. That's the year.
The first year we went with the Shock.
No. Was it the Shock?
In 2009 was the first year we switched to the Shock, and you guys beat us at Henniger. We thought we was gonna be hot shit and came out and we lost. I want to say you beat us pretty good too. It was like 49.
Yes, actually, that was that year. Yep, that's the year. That's when Said and them. That was their first year too. I had all the receivers, and actually that year was a good year. I shot 63 touchdowns through the whole regular
63?
season.
63, Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had those young guys. That was their first year. I had the running back too. You know, if they backed up, I run. They come up, I'm letting it go. I had like 5-6 fast receivers. Plus two backs.
I'll tell you that year, and I don't know where we were playing. I want to say it was like a 70-yard field we were playing on, though, but I think it was that year. And it was in that 07, 08, 09 realm, maybe. And we're playing, and because Johnson was coaching us. So we're playing, I don't even know what field it was on. It was in Rochester. Doby scrambles and launches 170 in the air, right?
Championship game. Here we got it. That was our first time playing on that field too.
Yes. Oh my God. And we're like, what? This field's not even 100 yards. Like, what the hell's going on? And
he threw it the whole distance of the field.
Well, not the distance. No, it was
actually,
like
it is 100 yards because my son plays on that field now.
But he launches one up. They catch it deep. And I want to say the receiver went down the hill. Was there a hill on the back of one of those end zones?
Yes.
He goes down the hill. And we're like, what the hell?
It disappeared.
Dude, it was
because he scored and he ran in the back of the
yeah.
end zone.
Oh,
And
that's
actually,
funny.
that was your safety's fault because I
Always.
scrambled left and
Yep.
he's looking at me, but he fired. And I
he's
guess he
behind you.
kept coming up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I could throw behind. And I see my guy behind him. He didn't believe in my arm, so I let it go.
No.
65
You just
yards.
see the ball just Kenny, the ball just traveled, and all of us are looking at it like, oh fuck, this is gonna be a touchdown. And sure enough, it was.
Buddy,
and that was the first game.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say every time he dropped back,
I was gonna say
like,
that.
Oh, fuck, he's throwing. I mean, that's just
Yes.
just
But that was the first game though that TC and Johnson like really started jawing at each other.
Yes.
And we're just like, all of us are like, yo, what are you bitching about? Just shut the hell up. And they were just, you want to talk about it? There's a rivalry with teams and a rivalry with coaches. Like,
and them
I've
two?
never seen two coaches just jaw at each other.
Every chance they get.
Every single time.
I'm
fuck
like,
you,
wow.
fuck you, you're an asshole. I mean, dude, it was just like, and you're just like, damn, we're supposed to hate each other. You guys just supposed to coach the damn games. Like,
exactly right. Actually, TC benched me the second quarter of that championship game because he was jawing with him. And I'm like, TC, calm down. He was like, no, you calm down. Come sit over here. I'm like,
you're like, what the hell? All right.
Right. Yeah. So he put our young kid in. Then at halftime, be like, you ready to go back in? I'm like, yes. I'm not saying nothing else to you.
No, done with you. And it was all because Johnson. And he'd be like, Dave, what do you? I'm getting under his skin. Watch, I'm gonna get under his skin. I'm like, I think it's the other way around. But whatever you want to say, man. Like, but it just used to be funny. There was this one specific time we were at East, and and we're coming up the stairs there, coming onto the field, and TC's like 15 yards from us, and Dave just starts going at him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what? And then they start going, and we're like, oh my god, dude, you need to shut the hell up. Like,
right? They were going. I'm like, did one of y'all mess with each other's family member or something? What is going on?
Yep. Oh, it was I remember one time they went at it in a league meeting. Dude, all this stuff used to just be funny because you're just like,
really in a league meeting?
Dude, they were over something stupid. It was always over something stupid.
Always.
You know? And here's us like we were angry with each other the first couple years we played each other, but after a while you're like, all right, dude, whatever. Like,
anger turns to respect.
Yeah, because we knew each other. We knew you're gonna talk shit. I'm gonna talk shit. You're gonna talk shit on this field, but after it, it's all love.
Yeah.
Because I used to get that all the time. I mean, man, I asked teams like even the Buffalo Outlaws, and they were family to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, off the field, fine, but on the field, I'm like, y'all trying to take my head off.
Yep.
So y'all bipolar. I always call them bipolar.
Bipolar.
Like y'all bipolar. They're like,
well, that's what those good rivalries do for you, right? You respect each other, and it turns.
They bring the best out of you. They bring the best out of you.
Absolutely.
So let's talk real quick about our time with the Soldiers, man. And I think a lot of us want to forget those times. We want to forget those times, right? But they were good times. I mean, it was a great learning experience to play arena football, to have, some Division I coaches. Not all the coaching was great there, but
we had a good team.
Yeah.
We just didn't have, good coaches, but they weren't knowledgeable indoor coaches.
Right.
Right. To bring us up to the level to where we really could have competed.
Yeah. Because we had, like you said, Perez was at quarterback, you were playing receiver. We had a decent line. We had a nasty, defense. It was fun, but we could have competed. But you're right. I think the knowledge of being the indoor game was a tough deal there.
Yeah, because games we weren't being outmanned. It was just we were being outcoached with them plays. Everybody else had indoor plays. We were doing basic
Canadian football
outdoor 11-man.
Yeah,
11-man. Plays that we're used to running. Instead of adjusting. That's all. I look back at that at times too, because I play indoor in West Virginia and also in Wisconsin. I played 3 to 4 years in Wisconsin and really got good with the coach to where we sat down and we were drawing up plays, making plays and stuff like that. So that's why I look at the Syracuse. I'm like, you know what? We had a good team. Just had no coach. You just had
I'll
the
never
experience.
forget. I had never played second line kick return in my entire life, Kenny. Right? And they always put the lineman on that second line, and all of us are like, I don't know. All right, so we go running back. Doby's returning the ball. We go running back, and I'm turned to look at Doby catch the ball because you're supposed to watch the guy catch the ball, then you turn to block, right?
Right.
So I'm watching him catch the ball. I turn to block, and I get blown apart, and I get hit so hard. I get hit into Doby, and it was a good thing it was in the end zone, so it was a touchback anyway. But I was like, what the did I just get hit?
Listen,
by?
buddy, I played that set position too on kickoff return. You're supposed to give them like a 5-yard spread so that shit don't happen.
Yeah, well,
You're
not an indoor.
Yeah, but not
there's
an
no
indoor.
spread, bro.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
2.5 yard spread, right?
Right.
Cut it in
Yeah.
half.
This is not indoor is
point.
totally different.
Good point.
I was
Man.
and I was like, Dobe, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right, but you got to turn a little bit quicker. I'm like, bro, that's as fast as I can go, dog. I don't. We've been playing together for a long time. You already know that I'm not that fast, so shit.
Right. Just don't turn. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Indoor is a totally different beast.
Yeah.
No, I tell everybody that.
I learned a couple times.
So you played pro elsewhere. So you got paid obviously in Wisconsin, and where else did you say you played?
West Virginia. That was called Still Valley Smash.
Okay.
And then Wisconsin was called Lacrosse Night Train. They were indoor. There was IFL. Yes, and I forgot the other league that it was. But yeah, those were good times.
And were you QB in Wisconsin and West Virginia?
I played everything for them. There was games. There were 3 or 4 games. I still have the record, I believe. 3 to 4 games where I ran a kick return, shot a touchdown pass, and rushed for a touchdown.
Nice.
That
doesn't surprise me, though. I got to be honest with you. It doesn't surprise me.
No, it surprised me because they basically had local. It was called Lacrosse, Wisconsin. It was the town called Lacrosse. Mm-hmm. And they 90% of the athletes or the team was from there, because they wanted the fan base,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Local. And majority of those athletes wasn't ready for indoor.
So how do they pick you up? Mickey, Wisconsin's on the other side of the country. You're over here in Rochester. How the hell they hear about you?
Good question. My guy, Lou Rossi, he was the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Gladiators, actually. Our first year when I played with Batavia. And when we beat them at home and ended their 2-year win streak, he came to me after the game. And I thought he was bullshit. And he's like, my name's Lou Rossi. I'm an agent, and I think you're a good player. He said, I can get you a couple tryouts for indoor. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I gave him my number. And like 3 weeks later, he called me and was like, listen, I got 3 tryouts for you to go to. And I tried out in West Virginia, Michigan, and Ohio.
And a lot of people don't understand that that's on your dime to go out to those places, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You're not getting paid for it. You have to go there, pay them, for the trial. But Lou was savvy with it. We didn't pay. I don't know what he was doing. But, thank God. I just had to pay for my hotel, the gas to get up there because he never went. He would just call them and be like, listen, I got this great. I guess he had the gift of gab.
Yeah.
So I went there. They're like, oh, it's paid for. Just come out and the tryouts. The trials were eye opening though. Because I want every semi-pro person to go experience a tryout. I don't care if it costs $100 to $500. Yep. Go get that experience and see what it's like to compete with other, athletes, not just on the football field, but the training level as well.
Yeah.
Because there was guys out there looking like, the Dick's Sporting Good mannequin. He's like
loaded up.
Man, they built like that and with the Under Armour on and stuff. And when it came to like the one-on-ones and stuff, I said, you guys are terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But then there was some that were amazing. Mm-hmm. And, they run like a 4-4. There was a couple of them like run 4-4s, 4-3s. The one-on-one, they could not catch.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't catch the ball. Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm in the line with him and him and him. Just to make me look good.
Right. Because you look at if somebody walks in a physical specimen, right, you're going to think, okay, this dude might be something. right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, then the shit gets real. And even though you're not hitting with pads on, because that's when things really get real and you realize who's a bitch and who ain't.
Oh yeah.
But you know, when you're doing one-on-one drills and shit like that, you realize real quick okay, maybe this guy ain't what he looked like. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a couple dudes I've coached like that too, right? And we've talked about them already.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Scott
everybody
and Justin Hardwick, those two dudes look like Under Armour models.
Yes.
You put those two dudes, and you're like, holy shit, these dudes are chiseled.
Yeah. Right.
And they can play. So I got lucky. Those dudes could play.
And they can play though. And they can play, you know.
Right, but you're just like, that's with clothes on they look like that. What in the hell is this all about?
And there's about 15 other guys that we've coached or played with. You're like, bro, I don't think this is for you, man. Like,
they look good till they run around, then they're tripping over themselves, and
or you watch them on kickoff. You just sit back and watch, like, hey, look, bam, boom. They got lit the fuck up. There it is.
They usually don't show up after that. Once they get lit up, they go back to the gym.
No.
It's usually how that works.
Or they make 1,000 excuses.
I mean, when I went out to my first tryout with the Conquest back in the day, like that was my first try. And you're walking, you're like, holy shit! Like it's a
you get intimidated for a minute.
Yeah. You're like, am I in the right place? Should I be here? You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know.
Awesome. So listen, Doby, how many years did you end up playing?
Semi-pro?
Combined from let's go semi-pro up to your arena year.
Let's see, 2000. I played 18 years.
Wow, that'd be you.
18 years, yeah.
Nice. And he's won. He's won everything he can win, guys. So I mean, he's one of the most decorated players I've ever gone against. So
what are you doing now, man? Are you coaching? Are you just sitting back and enjoying the game?
No, right now I'm being a fan. I'm getting a lot of coaching offers, but no, I'm being a fan. My boys don't even play for my mom. My youngest, he's still being a youngin', spoiled one. My 16-year-old, he's playing basketball now, so he's a basketball star. So I let them do, I let them enjoy life. I don't push them on anything, So I'm out there. I watch high school football. Mm-hmm. I go out and watch semi-pro games. I'm just a fan right now. Mm-hmm.
Let's brag a little bit about what you accomplished this week.
I got my I was passed my real estate exam, so I'm a real estate agent. But before that, congrats. Thank you. Yeah, but before that, I have a marketing agency for actually real estate brokers and stuff like that. So that's what made me go get the actual license. So now I can do referrals as well. Mm-hmm. And before that, I own a small home care agency of nurses and home health aides who take care of the elderly in their homes.
Nice.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a while, right?
Yeah, I would say I remember
you doing that for a while. Right,
awesome.
Right.
Awesome. So what's now? So you're legal to sell in New York now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have a contact or something we can put on the show here in case someone in Rochester wants to? I'm assuming it's the Rochester market.
Yes, Rochester market.
Okay.
Actually, you got to wait because I just passed the exam, so the broker got to send it in, and I got to get my license.
Okay.
So it's really not official yet. I mean, I passed the exam, thank God. I had to take it twice.
See, Kenny be throwing shit out there. He ain't even supposed to throw out there yet. See how you are, Kenny? Damn, man.
No, he can't. No, that's good because he can't. Right.
Listen, we're here to share stories, but if somebody's got something cool going on, I want to get their name out there, and
exactly.
Who knows?
Thank you for that.
No, absolutely. Well, when you do get it, let us know, and we'll get it on here somehow.
Of course.
Post edit it or something. We'll get it on here for
you.
There you go. Nice, awesome.
So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Do the honors, my man.
All right. So here's the deal. We've all had fight stories, right? Like every single. I mean, so let's talk rookie or first year, somewhere in that range, because those are always usually the most epic. Where you're like, this isn't supposed to happen in football, but it just happened, and what the hell are you gonna do? So give us that fight story that you're just like, what the hell just happened? But that was crazy shit. Fight story.
Okay. Actually, in Buffalo, we're playing the Buffalo Gladiators. They were up by 6. No, I think 6 or 3, something like that. We drive 70-something yards down the field. It's like 3 seconds left. We're on the inch-yard line. Our center, who played all game, went out. New center came in, and me not even thinking, because the play all I'm gonna do is give it to my running back. He's just gonna jump over the top. Touchdown, we're good.
Yep.
No, we got their defense is tired, so I know we're about to score. So the ball get hiked to me. I feel it on the bottom of my outside palm hand and drop. It dropped right in front of me. So in my mindset, all I'm gonna do is I'm about to just pick this and I'm gonna lean forward.
Just fall forward. Yeah, right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yes. As soon as I go down to pick it up, wide center kicks the ball. I mean, he blocked him, but he kicked the ball. The ball goes behind me. The running back runs past me. Long story short, they jump on it. I jump on the ground with my hands, my face planted in the ground, and all I hear is commotion and stuff. I look up, it's a big brawl. Everybody's fighting. I mean, everybody. I'm just looking like, wow. And it lasted for a good 20 minutes.
That's a good brawl.
Like,
that's a good brawl.
That was amazing, bro. I'm like, wow. I mean, helmets swinging, people. I mean, even afterwards, you just see people bloody.
Jesus Christ.
Like, man. Yeah. And I'm so in distraught. I stood there for 20 minutes, not moved. I mean, somebody could have hit me. Yeah. I'm just staring.
Just frozen. What taking it all in? What in the hell did I just get myself into?
Right, because I'm mad. I'm mad at the same time. Like, I cannot believe I just let this fucking ball go. That's all I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about the fight or anything. I'm thinking about the ball.
Right.
And that was just crazy to me. It was just real crazy. And I'm just standing there for 20 minutes, not moving.
Yeah. People don't realize when
suckered you.
When you're
right. Somebody could have suckered me anything.
Yeah, you wouldn't know shit. Yeah.
Nope.
You don't realize when you're in your early 20s and you're playing football, like all your life, it's like we were saying earlier, it's regimented. And then when you get to semi-pro, there's nothing regimented about semi-pro. You got about 6, 7, 8 guys that show up to practice and about 30 that show up to the game. So
every time
you're trying to, so your first like 2 or 3 months, you're always trying to figure out the waters. I mean, I can remember having practices where we played 2-hand tackle because we didn't have enough guys. Like this is a true story. Like my rookie year,
half fields, you play halves. Right, you have guard, center, tackle, and you only play one way.
Yeah,
you flip it and go the other way.
Yes, definitely. I think everybody's done that. Yeah, but yeah, you don't realize when that. I mean, like in mine, I was telling Kenny, the dude grabbed me by the face mask. I never threw a punch because you don't throw punches when you play football. Like, what the hell's going on? And
yeah, right. Totally different rules that organized.
Yeah, for
sure.
But actually, you learn
real quick. My first couple years, we had actually good turnout. Our practices was harder than the games.
Really?
Because we were so at each other. I mean, after practice, we would not talk to each other. Offensive defense didn't talk to each other. We were so mad at each other. And we always talk shit to each other. Oh, no, if we had pads on, you wouldn't do this. Oh, we did this. You terrible.
Yes. Yep.
All that.
Yep. It sounds like Flash going against our defense in practice. Oh, my God. We had the newspaper there one day doing an interview on us, and he's going, and in the article, he says, Anderson only raised his voice once to tell his defense to shut the hell up because he couldn't call a play. I'm like, these guys they're just going back and forth in the huddle. Flash is screaming. They're screaming back. And I'm like, dude, shut up. I'm trying to call a play here.
Right.
They get intense.
Every play, they got to say something.
They would get intense. Like, wow. No doubt.
But you know what? You know what happens real quick when the defense starts getting their ass whooped? They don't say shit real fast.
Then you
nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
But that's some of the stuff you miss. At least that's what I miss on the coaching side. Is you stand in there and watch these knuckleheads go at each other all day long, and they're griping back and forth, and then come Saturday, they're best buddies, and they're out there trying to wreck somebody. So
exactly.
Always the word is you can talk shit to me anytime. You talk shit to my brother though, we got issues. You know.
It's over. You can't do that. I'm the only one who can talk shit to him. You can't.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Exactly right. Yep. Exactly right.
Right. So good times though. It was good times.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Doby, we really appreciate you joining us today. And guys, you'll notice Hantke's on the bottom. He had some technical issues. That's why he's not up here on the top where he normally is. So we definitely appreciate you having patience and spending a little more time with us because of that. But miss those days. But we appreciate you joining us, and we'll have you on again soon for sure.
All right, anytime. Thanks for having me, guys.
All the war stories with Syracuse, Rochester, it never gets old, baby.
Never.
Absolutely not. All right, Doby, enjoy your weekend.
Chat, Dope.
All right, guys. You guys take it easy. Thanks.
All right, you
Same
too,
to
buddy. See you later, Hantke.